Hello and welcome to the Literary Lair, and to the final Hitchhiker's Guide review. Yes, this time we cover the fifth and final book in the increasingly inaccurately named Hitchhiker's Guide trilogy. We won't be covering the sixth book and Another Thing, because it wasn't written by Douglas Adams, and it's just okay. Nothing spectacular. And so we come to the end of an era. The final Hitchhiker's Guide book before the death of Douglas Adams. Let's stop dilly-dallying and finish this. The cover is eh. For the final book, it's not magnificent. It's space with the planet Earth, I presume, and the cosmic cutie, the quote-unquote mascot of the books, which reportedly Douglas Adams hated. And I agree with him. It makes no sense why this thing is the mascot. Marvin should be the mascot of the series, if anything. Other than that, it's kind of bland. I mean, come on, this is the last book. There should be pictures of the hitchhikers on it. But I digress. On to the story proper. After the events of the last book, Arthur and his love interest, Fenchurch, attempt to sightsee across the galaxy. But Fenchurch disappears during a hyperspace jump due to being from an unstable sector of the galaxy. This makes Arthur depressed and travels the galaxy alone, raising money to pay his passage by donating his biological material to DNA banks, mostly sperm, due to having the highest payout. He's aware that he can't die until he visits Stavromula Beta, as was revealed in the third book by the insane Agrajag. During one journey, his ship crash lands on the planet Lemuela. Arthur survives and finds a simple life, becoming the sandwich maker for the local population. And thus, he created the first off-Earth subway. Eat fresh. Meanwhile, Ford Prefect has returned to the offices of the Hitchhiker's Guide, and is annoyed to find out that the original publishing company, Megadodo Publications, has been taken over by Infinitum Enterprises. Yeah, I'd be pissed off too. Infinitum is run by Rupert Murdoch. Ford discovers that Vogons are part of the Guide's employ, and attempts to escape the building, because Vogons are evil. During this attempt, he finds the Hitchhiker's Guide Mark II, which he steals and sends to himself, care of Arthur, for safekeeping. He assumes that Arthur will just ignore it and plop it on the shelf, because he's British, and British people are very polite. One day, Trillian arrives on Lemuela and presents Arthur with random frequent flyer Dent, a teenage girl she claims is his daughter, with a mouthful of a middle name, I might add, conceived by Trillian via artificial insemination using the only human sperm samples available, those given by Arthur to pay for his space travels. Well, Arthur, you finally got into Trillian's pants. Unfortunately, you did not get to enjoy it. Trillian leaves Random with Arthur so that she can better pursue her new career as an intergalactic reporter. Because that's what you do when you want a cool job. Leave your kid behind with the other parent, even though the other parent is a sandwich maker on some backwater planet. Random finds life on Lemuela boring and cannot get along with Arthur. Probably because she's a teenager and just met the man who is allegedly her father. I'd have a problem getting along with a dude I just met too. Shortly after her arrival, a package which contains the Guide Mark II arrives and is stolen by Random while Arthur is not looking. With Random as its owner, the Guide helps her escape to the planet to find her mother using Ford's ship as he arrives looking for the Guide. I wonder what the Guide has to say about shipjacking. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy states that shipjacking is the act of stealing a spaceship, and is totally condoned by this edition of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, unlike the Mach 1, which was a stick in the mud. Ford and Arthur manage to leave the planet together and return to Earth, realizing that Random has also returned there. Ford also realizes that the Guide Mark II, being capable of both time travel and looking into alternate universes, is manipulating events in accordance to an unknown plan. And it also found a universe where sliders didn't suck after John Rhys Davies left. Unfortunately, that universe also had a Scrubs with Daniel Toss as a JD. Not really a fair trade. Meanwhile, on Earth, an alternative version of Trillian, reporter Trisha McMillan, who was never able to take Zaphod's offer to travel in space due to wanting to get her handbag, and thus should have ended up with Arthur, but didn't for some reason, finds herself approached by an extraterrestrial species calling themselves the Grebulons. They reveal that they have set up a base on Rupert, a 10th planet just beyond the orbit of Pluto, because what else are you going to call it? After arriving in the solar system and finding that their computer core and most of their memories had been damaged and had been following the remaining portions of their mostly missing mission statement to observe something to do with Earth. What was it again? Deputizer, Destroyer, hell, I don't remember.
Maybe we have to have sex with it.
Shut up, Ted! They have approached Trisha to help them adapt the astrology charts to use Rupert as their base, offering to let her interview them on their base in exchange for the help. She performs the interview, but finds that the resulting footage looks like the whole thing was fake. Like the moon landing, which we faked on a soundstage. On Mars. She's called away from editing the footage to report on a spaceship landing in the middle of London. Just like that to happen too. I've just started editing a video and the spaceship lands in the middle of a populated area and I have to go check it out. Trisha finds Random leaving the ship and the girl believes Trisha to be her mother and starts yelling at her. Wait a second. Parallel worlds, doubles being mistaken for their prime counterparts. Did Douglas Adams just write an episode of Sliders? Trisha, with the help of Arthur, Ford, and Trillian, managed to take Random to a bar, address number 42, which is no coincidence, to try to talk to her. However, she fires a weapon at Arthur. He ducks, and the shot kills a man behind him. Ford points out to Arthur that the name of the bar they're in is Stavro Mueller's Beta, the man just killed being another form of Agrajag, and that Arthur's life is no longer safe. Well, it was fun while it lasted. Although the whole time set in stone thing is kinda dumb, considering how these books bend space and time to their whim. Shortly afterwards, the Grebulons, believing from their study of astrology that it would be a positive action to improve their situation, fire upon and destroy the Earth. Because that's just what you do when you need a change. It is revealed that the Guide Mark II was created by the Vogons to complete the destruction of Earth in every possible dimension, using reverse temporal engineering to bring Arthur, Ford, Trillian, and Random together on Earth for its destruction by the Vogons. After Earth is destroyed, the Guide collapses in on itself.
They're dead, Dave.
Ford?
Everybody's dead, Dave.
What? Trisha?
Everybody's dead, Dave.
Or Random?
They're all dead. Everybody's dead, Dave.
Trillian isn't dead, is she?
Everybody is dead, Dave.
Not Chen.
Gordon Bennett, yes, Chen, everybody. Everybody's dead, Dave.
Arthur?
He's dead, Dave. Everybody is dead. Everybody is dead, Dave.
Wait. Are you trying to tell me that everyone's dead? And that's it, really. Just like that, the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series ended, until Aaron Colfer wrote the final book. Now, Colfer isn't a bad author. I haven't read it, but I've heard that Artemis Fowl is a fantastic series. And I want to dedicate this review to Douglas Adams, because I want to thank him for writing a hoopy as hell sci-fi series that I personally love. And he has said that this probably wasn't the strongest ending, and he thought it was kind of depressing, and he was having a bad year. But hey, I liked it. And that's that, really. Anyway, that's it for this week, but next week is going to be fantastic.